What is going on, everybody? And thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Man Up Real Talk podcast. I am your host with the most, Mr. Mike Wiley, saying greetings and salutations as I adjust my camera here.
Yeah,
So,
me
all of you
too.
are loyal, faithful. We appreciate y'all.
Yep.
Appreciate all the likes, the shares, the clicks, and the downloads, and whatever it is that you do to support this podcast. Because that had it not been for you, it wouldn't be no us. So we thank you all and appreciate y'all from the bottom of our little hearts. Yes, we do. We thank all of y'all for everything that you do. Listen, if you're joining us for the first time, we want to say welcome and hopefully you'll enjoy the conversation and come on back. Listen, tell everybody about the Man of Real Talk podcast. Come on in, pull up a chair, join in the conversation. We want you to participate. And if you're coming back for a second helping or another piece for a third plate, whatever the case may be, we say welcome back because your boys is back on the air with the Man Up Real Talk podcast for the people. Joining me as always is my partner in crime, Mr. Philip Hines, aka Mr. Classic, aka OG Triple OG, who is definitely in the building. What's going on, fam?
What's going on, brother-in-law?
It's Friday, man. Are the Bulls playing tonight?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
I know. Because you're looking at the TV. That's why I was asking. Lord Jesus. Oh, man. What's going on with you, man?
Nothing much, man. Chilling. It's gonna be
Chilling?
kind of cold outside, so I ain't going to.
Yeah, man. Summer's
Yeah.
officially gone.
Yes.
It's gone. It didn't even give us time to say, well, listen, we appreciate you
No, it's
and
just
everything
gone.
that you did. Summer was like, nope, I'm out. I ain't even sticking around. I mean, it just got up and went,
Yeah.
unfortunately. And fall is officially here, and it
Yes,
is
it
not waiting
is.
for nobody at
Nobody at
all.
all.
Ain't waiting for nobody at all. Listen, a couple of really quick things. If you are in the Chicago area, from August, not from this month, from the 28th through the 30th, I encourage you to come by 354 West 71st Street in Chicago, Illinois. We are having a Dominion Conference at Faith, Hope, and Charity, and it's going to be hosted by our pastor and founder, Pastor Henry Lee Razor. Listen, it is
Yes.
going to be an event, and you all do not want to miss it. We got a weekend lined up. We got a special guest, Dorinda Clark Sheard is going to be there, and listen, man, it's going to be the jump off at the end of the month. So I know everybody just associate October with Halloween, but from this year forward, they're gonna be talking about this Dominion Conference, and it's going to be something, and it is going to be something that you will not want to miss. So if you are in the area, you ain't got nothing planned for that weekend, the 28th through the 30th, you need to come on through Faith, Hope, and Charity, 354 West 71st Street in Chicago, Illinois, because it's going to be something to be beheld. So make sure
Yes,
you
sir.
got your face in the place. What else? My boy Eddie, I just want to let y'all know. Listen, your Edition Network is back. Our brother Eddie Phillips, he's been down for a minute. COVID had him, but he is back
Yeah.
in string, and he is back. And if you want some interactive Black history, you need to go over to the Erudition Network and check out his channel, man. He do good stuff. His wife has an awesome show that comes on Mondays, I believe, and he comes on Thursdays, or is she Tuesday? I can't remember, but they both have really great shows, and you need to go ahead and check them out. They have some really good stuff, and if you're into Black history, or if you thought you were into Black history, you wait till you go over there
Exactly.
and hop on his show, and you will know that the stuff that we've been talking
Believe
about,
me.
yeah, it ain't what you know. I
Yeah.
promise
You
you,
don't-
it's not.
you don't know nothing. When it comes to brother
Yeah,
Eddie, hey man, I call him the true definition of knowledge of self, because that's exactly
absolutely,
what he is.
absolutely. Well, how did that song go? Man, you don't know nothing. And that's how you gonna feel when you go over there,
I
because you're
like
gonna be
that.
like,
Bring another one back, Mike. Bring another
you
one
want
back.
that? Well, I want to show your name, but I can cover your name up. It's all right.
Everybody know who I am, man.
They may not know. There may be somebody tuning in for the first time.
Okay. Hey,
They're
how
gonna be
you
like,
doing?
who's that handsome Black guy sitting over there to the right? Who
How
is
you
that
doing?
guy?
My name is Phil Hines. Okay, we
Who
got
is
that
that
cleared
guy?
up.
he looks like a hood Idris Elba. I wonder what his name is.
Hey man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Somebody said that to me a long time ago. It made me mad. That's when the Wild was out when he was playing Stringer Bell.
Oh no!
See him, man. I was in the club, man, years ago. He's like, you look like a hood Stringer Bell. I'm like, huh? What?
Like really? Thanks. I think. Like I guess I appreciate that in some weird way. I don't know.
I just
Listen,
looked at him.
we appreciate everybody that's watching. For those of you all that are watching live, and for those of you all that will join and rewatch this at a later time, we thank y'all. Give a shout out to you. I see Minty is in the chat as always. Thank you,
Hey,
my
Missy
darling,
Pooh.
for hanging out with us and joining us on tonight. Don't really have a lot to talk about. It's not really been like a big news, any big things in the news or nothing like that. And so it's not a whole. We don't really have a whole lot to talk about. But there's a couple of things that I wanted to discuss with you guys, and and please feel free to leave your comments in the chat, whether you agree with them or if you don't agree with them, whatever the case may be. We definitely want to hear from you guys and know what your opinion is of the conversations and the topics that we have. That's how conversation work. It's two-way. It's give and take, baby. We give it, but we also want to take. We give, but we also want to receive. So you let us know what your feelings are, what your opinions are, and how you think about the subjects, and that's how we keep the conversation going. But your boy is always in the news, man.
Hey man, I keep trying to tell y'all about him.
It's to the point I have to ask this question, and I don't want y'all to take this the wrong way. But how long are we going to tolerate Kanye's buffoonery? How long?
Forever?
How long are we going to keep supporting it? Because let's just be honest, we do. We support it. And then you know what we say? It's like, y'all just don't understand. He a genius. And geniuses are misunderstood. He's a genius. Mike, you just don't get it. You just don't get it, man. He's a free thinker. And when you're a free thinker, everybody ain't going to agree with what you say. How long are we going to keep pandering to this nonsense? How long? Thank you. Even the phone is like, bro, I'm done.
Hey, I told you, Mike. I told you, man. When it come to Kanye, it's strictly about music. But Kanye told me everything I needed to hear on the second song on College Dropout. Now I tell my mom I belong to slow classes. Hey man, he's been mental. Like this is him. Now I do believe that some of the stuff he do for shock value.
Come on, man.
Now I do believe that. I do believe that a lot of even with those shirts. I'm not gonna say it, but even with those shirts, I think that him and that Candace Owens. I can't say her name either. I think that was. I ain't saying.
Say it. Candace.
I ain't showing.
Candace Owens.
I ain't showing no love. But I think that was some shock value mess. But I told you we didn't talk about this before. I told you a long time ago. When it comes to Kanye West, it's strictly music with me. Nothing else.
But I don't understand. You know what though?
He has a following too, Mike. He has a following now.
It's almost like a cult following. And
it is a cult following.
And I know some of y'all are gonna bring up the receipts and say, "But wait a minute, Mike. When he put out when he put out his gospel album, weren't you one of the main supporters of it?" You're right.
I was too.
I was because you know why? I honestly thought that maybe, just maybe, he was going to possibly turn something around and make, because here's why I was supporting him. And a lot of people was like, you know, a lot of people was like, he had, like, they were saying that he has no right to do a gospel album. He has no right to do it because he's been talking crazy all this time. How dare he make a gospel album? And that almost sounded like somebody saying, "No, you've been a sinner all your life. How dare you try to accept Jesus?"
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I was like, that's why I wanted to support it, because I'm like, if he's trying to make a change for the better, I don't want to condemn the brother. I want to give him a chance. Now, one or two things was gonna happen. He was either gonna grow in it, or he was gonna go back to what he was normally doing. And you know what he did? He went back to what he normally does, and that's fine. That's fine. But the issue that I'm having with Kanye is that we are only important to him when he needs us. We're only important to him when he needs us. Otherwise, he is trying to please and he is trying to fit in with those that don't want him.
Kanye wants to be an old, rich white man. That's why he
I
always,
swear,
I'm the Walt Disney. I'm the
I'm
I'm the Tom
Warhol.
Ford. I'm the
Right?
Warhol.
It's like,
I'm the Oscar Gosh. You know, I mean, that's Kanye wants to be an old rich white man. Simple as that.
I swear
That's
he
why I say
does,
I
man.
don't pay
And
him
that's
attention. But you know, right now, Kanye, he has a following. You know what I'm saying? Because the same people that talked about him, y'all walk around them jail slippers he got out. I see them everywhere.
wait.
So once you get to a
What?
point like that, where you have people that will put out it
Oh,
now,
wait a minute.
those shoes.
No,
Wait a
no,
minute, Mike.
no.
Do you remember them black shoes, Mike, that everybody dogged out a couple years ago? They came out, them Yeezys that look like Blaze or something, and now everybody wearing them now.
Hold on. I had to adjust my mic because I don't think it was on. Did you just call them jail
Yeah, man.
slippers?
Come on, man. That's some county slippers, man. Stop it, man. That's when you go up on deck, man. Come on, man.
Yo,
Stop that, B.
he called them jail slippers.
Man, stop that, man. Come on, man. Come on,
Look, oh my god. Okay, it's so much that I want to unpack with this because it's like some of y'all are such hypocrites.
man.
You all are
Exactly.
the biggest hypocrites. You all are the biggest hypocrites ever. Hey, look, the same people that support Kanye, right, are the same people that sit up there and say, "Why do y'all buy Jordans? Because Jordan ain't never did nothing for the community." They say that.
Mm-hmm.
Or should I say, y'all say that? Y'all say Jordan ain't never did nothing for the community. Ain't
Mm-hmm.
gonna never buy a pair of
Yep.
Jordans. But you will sit up there and go and get them jail slippers from Kanye,
Go get
who
them
told
counties.
you,
And I'm be real with you.
that
All
slavery,
y'all
he said
wearing them.
slavery was a choice.
All y'all
Slavery
wearing
was
them.
a choice, and y'all go and get them waste baskets, them laundry baskets, and wear them.
Y'all when he got them county slippers in the nice bright colors and all that stuff, then get mad when he put on that shirt. Stop it.
Then you want to get upset.
Mm-hmm.
You want to get upset. My question is what has Kanye done for the community?
Gave
Please,
us some
please
good
explain
music.
it.
Gave us some good music. Just like Michael Jordan gave us excellent basketball play. Goes
Right.
both ways.
Jordan gave us 6 championships. In what? In how many years? 7 years? 7 years, 8 years, 6 championships.
Mhm.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Everybody in Chicago was feeling pretty good around that time.
But did you see his response, Mike?
Yeah, and I was just about to say that. So now here's the logic. Let me bring myself down. The logic behind why he was wearing the t-shirt was, he explained it pretty well for Kanye. He said, well, when I see my white counterparts with the Black Lives Matter shirt, it's as if they're wearing a shirt to remind me that my life matters, which they don't have to remind me of that. So I just thought it would be funny if I just wore a shirt to say, hey, to remind them that, hey guys, white lives matter. It was just to say he wore the shirt to be sarcastic. Word.
He's mental, B. I mean, seriously, people got to start realizing now this boy is mental, man. If you listen to his music, listen to his mama interview. His mother, when he first got on, his mother interview. I mean, the boy's raised up. When you're raised up and the teachers is telling your mother, rest in peace, because she was a great mother. I think about that Netflix joint and how Donda West was on that joint. Man, she was a wonderful mother. But you can tell that Kanye, she raised him where she had him thinking that whatever he thought and whatever he did, like she said, it's all good.
Look, I get it. I totally understand. Yes, he, for all intents and purposes, he's a genius. He has a brilliant mind, and he probably does have a touch. He
special.
Yeah, he got a touch. He definitely has a touch of something, and that's fine. I get it. But what I don't like is how we enable. Is how we are basically enabling him to be whatever it is that he wants to be. Like, here's the issue that and he also went on to say, like, he was like, but when I say things, it's almost like that documentary that they made about me. What are you talking about? The documentary that they made about you? You were part of that documentary. You approved it.
See what I'm
saying?
Was
your guy.
See what I'm saying?
That was your guy. And he sat up there, he was like, yeah. And, it was almost as if the world wants to say, hey, put the camera down from Kanye when he says something that we don't agree with. No, that's why your guy didn't put the camera down. Your dude put the camera down because he didn't want people to see how bad you looked.
A real friend. He only put the camera down when you start talking outside your brain.
When you start going all off the rails, he didn't want people to see that. Because he knew that was a part of you that wasn't altogether right.
And he said it. And
he said it.
Yeah.
It wasn't because he was trying to shut you off or to muzzle your opinion. You were going off the rails. And it wasn't like it was genius stuff that you were saying. You were sounding like a man who was just saying anything
he didn't want to record his man talking like that. So he put the camera down.
And in his mind, that's what people are doing. In his mind, that's what we're doing. We're trying to shut him up from saying the things that we don't agree with. And that's not it. You can say listen, I have said this to people on Facebook and everybody else. You have the absolute right to say whatever it is that you want to say. As an American citizen, you have that right. And I will fight to defend that right for you. So you can say what you want to say. But what I'm not going to do is sit here and accept your inane ramblings for something because you think you're a genius and I'm just supposed to sit here and just accept it. No. You have an issue or issues.
You have several
and
issues.
you gotta work through them. What I don't like about us is how we sit up and we try and we coddle this dude. We coddle him because he don't even acknowledge us half the time until he needs us. When he was going through
Adidas.
When he was going through that stuff with Adidas, he put it out there because you know why? We was gonna stand behind him.
Mm-hmm. Puffy and Swiss B said they gonna start wearing Adidas. Remember?
Yeah, we was gonna get behind Kanye. When he was talking about the Gap, we gonna get behind Kanye. But all the while, he got y'all looking like fools. He said, "Look, dog."
But you know what, Mike? But you know what it really come down to? I think that folks have finally realized that it's something like even celebrities that where Fat Joe said that I'm gonna always love you, but I can't F with you on this one. But right. I think everybody can include like he a little special, but we love this brother. So they kind of get to the point where when he go off the rail, it's nothing nobody can do, man. Kanye thinks that he's the smartest person in the room.
Right.
And it's like he's been able to express himself where this is what happens when a child is able to express himself to the fullest. And Kanye thinks that he has the answers to everything.
Yeah. People are enabling him because he got money, stupid money, too many yes people around him.
Yeah.
Definitely agree. I definitely agree with that. Jackie said his mind and his mental state are a dangerous combination. He can blow at any time if he's not taking his meds. He feels he can't be stopped, which is dangerous too. I agree with that too.
I mean,
and Michael says that celebrities use social psychology and it works every time. That's why he's a topic. Absolutely. Because we know that any publicity is good publicity.
And that's all I'm saying. Like I said, I believe a lot when Kanye make these little outlandish statements and all this stuff, I think sometimes he do it for shock value. Yeah. But that's why I say mental health is very serious, especially amongst us black men. You know what I'm saying? If you're going through anything mentally, go talk to somebody or find somebody to talk to. You got to remember, this man's been stuck in Calabasas with them folks. You know what I mean? So, I'm not trying to put nothing on them, but when you're around a lot of people and you worth $6 billion, ain't nobody telling you no. And the ones that's telling you no, you kicking them out the circle real fast.
And that's but isn't that where the problem
was? That's how he fell out with John Legend. That's how he fell out with Common. That's how he fell out with Talib. Because they wasn't agreeing with what he was saying when he first came with the Trump stuff.
And I think that's where the problem is. It's like Jackie kind of hinted on it. Maybe he does think he really is invincible, like he can do any and everything. And look, I really don't have a problem with that. As a matter of fact, I believe that you should believe that you can do anything. You should let people tell you what you can't do. I really believe that. But I also think that when we talk about supporting a person, I can support you and champion you to get better.
Yeah.
I don't have to buy your stuff.
It's too late for that. Them shoes
but see, that's what I'm saying. And what kills me though is how people this is what I'm saying. It's like we can't have a double standard when it comes to this. It's like throw R. Kelly in jail, y'all. Why y'all still listening to his music? Kanye told you that you was a slave by choice. Why you still buying his shoes?
Yeah.
Why you still rumming? Look, this dude got some of these people. Literally, he's mad at the Gap for having his clothes on a hanger like normal stores. Yeah. He wanted them to put his clothes in a giant garbage bag so that you, the consumer, can sift through the bag looking for what you want to wear, like you're homeless.
But do you see the mental?
I do.
See where his brain is at? Do you see where his brain is at?
And in his mind, that's genius. It's so couture.
Yeah.
And my biggest issue with Kanye is that he only caters to us when he needs us.
Yeah.
That is my biggest issue with him. And I love Kanye. I love his music. But at some point in time, you gotta call a person out. And we don't do that when it comes to him. You know what we say? It's just Kanye.
Because really, to be honest with you, Mike, it got to a point with that guy. It really didn't got to a point with him. I mean, if we want to be honest about it, it got to a point where it's nothing else you can say.
Yeah.
It's nothing else you can say. Them Yeezys gonna sell out. Like I said, a couple years ago when them black ones came, when they had them black ones, I posted a picture on Facebook. Everybody ugly, ugly, ugly. I see all y'all wearing those.
Yep.
The ones y'all call ugly. And I see all y'all wearing them Cook County sandals.
Yep. Them Yeezy slides. That's like
that's the ones I'm talking about. The Cook County sandals.
No, you should see the ones, bro, that look
I watched folks wear those all summer long.
All summer long with no socks.
Yep, in different colors.
That's an abomination. Let me tell you something. Here's a public service announcement. Just for y'all. Do not wear foam slides with no socks, knowing that your feet sweat. You are doing you and everybody else around you a disservice.
You gotta relax, Mike.
I'm just saying. How you gonna wear them shoes with? How you gonna wear them shoes with no socks?
Mike, relax.
No powder, nigga. None. Just no powder. You got on some foam slides with no socks.
No, but honestly, man, Kanye is to the point where, yeah, you know, wifey said he's thinking he's invincible, but let's be real. To be honest with you, he is kind of far as the power he has. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because he's at the point now where no matter what he say, those shoes are still going to sell out. No matter what he say, it's still going to be some company that's willing to take a chance on his clothing line. He's at that stat. Yeah. That's another reason why he feel he can say what he want to say, because he's at that status where people are going to mess with him. Yeah. No matter how crazy he talk, folks are still going to mess with him because of who he is. It's Kanye West.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
I mean, I'm not washing my hands of him, but it's just like I'm not going to keep supporting your foolishness.
I told you that a couple years we started the Trump mess. We was doing audio. It's about music, man. It's about music.
Trump is like he's like, you know, he's like my dad. You know what I mean? It's like he's like my dad. You know, when I look at him, I see, you know, it's like I see Superman. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, really, bro? That's what you see when you look at Trump.
And Donda might be a classic. Like I said, it's the R. Kelly syndrome. I don't care what nobody say. Yeah, what he did was wrong, was terrible. If he did it, was terrible. I hope he right in jail for the things he did. But I'm sorry, man. That man's catalog. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was a rapist. But I love Step in the Name of Love.
What do you do when the DJ play your favorite song? We step. Come on, man. Stop it, man. Somebody dance.
Yeah, he was a pedophile. Mike, but relax. Have you heard Trapped in the Closet?
Chill, relax, Mike. Relax. You're going too far now. You're going too far. Chill, man.
Come on, bro. That's how it is.
You're going too far.
Know that's how it is. Yeah, he was found guilty on 18 counts of rape and all this other stuff. But have you heard The Chocolate Factory?
Man, listen.
12 Play?
Woo, his best album.
Have you heard it?
Best album. 12 Play is the reason why we're bald heads right now.
I'm just saying. But you know what? I even get that because that's a discussion for another day too. Yeah. Is there a time that we can separate the art from the artist?
But we said that, you remember, Mike, you remember you brought this same thing up about Bill Cosby.
We had the same conversation about Bill Cosby. This is why I bring this up. Because when the thing happened to Bill Cosby, everybody was in agreement, like, take his shows off and that he should get and take away his honorary doctrines and take his name off of all of these things and do this and do that. Let's just wipe him completely from the earth. Everything he's ever done, let's just get rid of it. That's what they wanted to do with Bill Cosby. Mm-hmm. R. Kelly do what he does. And you know what they say? Well, he make good music. Hey, man. He got a catalog. Kanye say some off the wall stuff, make y'all feel goofy, and then he make a song where he talking about some poopity scoop, and everybody go crazy. And it's just like, man, did you hear what he said? Yeah, I heard it. He said poopity scoop. Yeah. And that was the extent of that verse. Yeah. And we be like, man, he killed it. I cram to understand, bro. I don't get it sometimes. I really just don't get it.
You get to that status, man. You get to a certain status in life.
Say Regina, she said he want to get Mr. Big, and Mr. Big said that ninja gotta go.
Oh, yes.
This is Mr. Big. How you doing, Mr. Big?
Man, that download video was lit.
Kelly's telling me that you're sleeping with another woman. Just because I'm creeping with her doesn't mean I'm sleeping. Well, if you're not sleeping with her, what the hell you doing with her?
Man, listen, man.
What'd he say? Nah, son, man to man, we both know the game.
Hey, man, all jokes aside, though, while y'all tripping, man, R. Kelly brought me, Ronald Isley back.
Man, he brought Ronald Isley back, and he been on.
He gave Ronald Isley that Mr. Big persona,
Yeah,
and that persona Ronald Isley is playing now. He got that from Mark. You know what, man? Like I said, man, that brother, and you know, we weren't even talking about R. Kelly, but just like what we said about the Bill Cosby thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
And you do, at a point, you have to separate the artist from the person.
I believe that. I honestly believe
you know, Bill Cosby was a great dad on TV. He did a lot of positive stuff. Fat Albert was lit. But back in the 70s, he was in the Playboy, the Playboy mansion, allegedly dropping pills in people in the little white girl drinks.
Dude, I sit up there and on Facebook, people be posting clips of the Cosby Show, and I watch every last one of them.
Yeah, man.
I go back and I'm like, I didn't realize just how quality television the Cosby Show was.
That 9-day episode is a classic, man.
Man,
that 9-day episode is a classic. I don't care what nobody say, man. That was a classic.
You know what else was what I thought was a really clever episode, and this isn't about Bill Cosby because we're gonna move on. But it was an episode when Theo was talking about how he wanted to, how he thought he was an adult and he wanted to go out in the world.
Oh, yeah.
And he totally
took all his stuff out of his room. Yeah, I remember that.
Dude,
I remember that.
That was absolute genius how they did that. And I love that episode because it was a fun way of teaching a lesson. And I'm like, man, I wish I had something like that I grew up with.
Yeah.
Because I just thought that was dope. And when you look at the scope of the Cosby Show, when you look at how he was one of the, like, I don't remember a black cartoon besides Fat Albert when I was coming up.
Mm-hmm.
The Brown Hornet. He used to have, what's the little learning show he had? Picture Pages. Do you remember Picture Pages? All of this stuff he did, and it's just like, it's hard for me to say, well, let's just throw all of that away because of what he did. Do I condone what he did? No.
And just think, other than that, Mike, he had my generation going to college for 2 or 3 weeks.
Man.
He came with a show called A Different World. And like I said this before, and I say it again, a lot of my generation went to college because of this show. World.
Because everybody wanted to experience college experience.
We was going to look for our Whitley.
Yeah. So it was like, man, so I don't know, man. Listen, I wish Kanye all the best in the world, but it's just I just refuse to keep supporting his foolishness, man.
He'll calm down, and then a couple months when he want a little attention, he'll say something.
He'll do something else, or he'll he'll go and stand in the middle of a bank with a mask on or something.
That's his Steve. Like I said, you notice, like for almost a half of a year, he walked around with the white man mask, or then at the end he walked around with just a black face. Remember, he came on the BET Awards when they was giving Puffy the thing. I knew he couldn't breathe in that thing, man. I know he was burning up. You can't tell me. That's why he's breathing so hard. So, he walks around with that on his face. That black, you can't see. I mean, that's just like I said, man. When you're mental, I mean, stuff goes through his head.
So hard.
Yeah, man. He was hard, man. Nigga had a thick coat on. He had the little black face over his mouth. Then he had a hat on. See that? Puffy is an innovator. Like, take the mask off, yo. Come on, man. You gonna pass out on the BET Awards, yeah?
No, this is Balenciaga. I can't take this off.
Yeah, like I said, it's old. Like, His whole conversation is nothing but name dropping old rich white men.
You know what though? Can I tell you what really bugs me about the whole situation? In all honesty, and I go back to Sway when he was on there. You don't have the answer, Sway. You don't know. And then it turns out that Sway really did have the answers, which is kind of funny.
Hey man, Sway was ready to get up with Kanye because Sway was like, "Hey, we can turn these cameras off. We can see what it's really about."
Hey dog, he said we can shut this boy down right now. He said you ain't got to come up in here like that. But here's my issue. My issue is like why didn't Kanye get with a black designer and say, hey, let's partner up and let's launch this thing? Why didn't he get with a black designer and do that? Why try to sit at the table with the people that don't want you at the table?
Yeah,
when you could have made a table. No. You could have made a table that would have enabled other black designers to come in and really push their stuff.
He had one.
You know what I'm saying? Put your stuff out there and then say, hey, these are other black designers that I want to introduce to you guys. Why not do that? Why not get with another black designer and put your own shoe out there? Why did you have to go to the man?
Mike, listen what I'm trying. He had one, Mike. He had one. His name was Virgil. R.I.P. Virgil. Mr. Off-White.
Virgil, brick on my bread.
Virgil came up in Chicago with Kanye. The problem with Kanye wanted that job with Louis so bad. Louis ended up giving that position to Virgil. That's how the Off-Whites came with Virgil from Louis Vuitton. And he kind of got jealous of Virgil having that position. So when Virgil kind of fell out a little bit. I think they probably got a little bit tight before Virgil passed away, RP once again. But yeah, he had one.
Keep talking, Phil. Let me try to fix one. My mic is doing some weird thing. Just keep talking to the people.
What I'm saying is Kanye had the right guy that he could have started what he was trying to do with Adidas, Louis Vuitton. I don't like that Louis, man. It's Louis Vuitton, Adidas, anything. Him and Virgil could have did it, but he chose. Kanye wants to be amongst the rich old white men. That's why you ever listen to his conversations, he's gonna always name drop the Tom Fords, the Walt Disneys, the Oshkosh Marshall or somebody, whatever that dude that's part of Louis Vuitton with Tom Ford, he's gonna bring up a lot of old white men in his conversation. But what it come down to is Kanye is just someone who thinks that he knows everything. He do. He think he has answers to everything. His interview at the Drink Champs. I mean, but you know what? And I'm not gonna be hypocritical. Some of that stuff that he was saying that Drink Champ conversation, it was right. But the problem with Kanye is he'll say something right, but he has these.
He'll follow it up with some rants. You be like,
he'll go off on a tangent that don't need to be. You know what I'm saying? That you'll be like, what are you talking about?
You be like, right. Then he starts talking about now, and then what a lot of people don't realize is that with chocolate milk. You know what I'm saying? Like once you pour that into a blender and when the blender turns on, it's like now, you know what I'm saying? Like I can go and sit on the couch and watch YouTube. And you'll be like,
yeah. That's how his interviews go. Like, he'll talk about something that really means something, and then he'll go off on this wild tangent about some stuff that ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
And think about how peanut butter and jelly works, right?
Exactly.
You can't put both of them on the same slice of bread. You understand what I'm saying? Like it has to be separate. And then
when it's separated, it will be just like that.
That's how you bring it together. You understand? You know, but see, people don't think about that because they're chewing ice cream, and you'll be like,
that. And what's sad is, Mike, we laughing, but that conversation will go just like that. That's what he'll do.
You'll be like,
what is he talking about right now? I thought we was talking about music.
Oh Lord!
Where did Gap come in? What you talking about?
What are we talking? Why are we talking about the Gap? I'm so confused. Regina, Kanye could have been responsible for bringing FUBU back, but he didn't want that responsibility.
Nah.
He could have brought it back.
No.
All I'm saying is that
that's black. That's black.
Right.
Kanye wants to be considered amongst those white designers. He wants that stamp. He don't want the Carl Kanais, the FUBUs, not even the Sean Johnson Rockefeller. I mean Rockawares. He don't want that stamp. He wants the Balenciagas, the Louis Vuittons, the Gucci,
Calvin Klein's, the Hill figures.
You know,
he wants to be Gucci. He wants to be, whatever other top designer. He wants to be Michael Kors. That's what he.
Exactly.
That's fine. That's fine. But it's like you could have. When I see brothers and that's why I say when people talk about what did Jordan do, I'm like, well, what is Kanye doing?
None.
What is he doing? What is he doing that deserves your blind devotion? So
folks be quick, but you know what? Folks be quick to, and you know what? I don't like this. Folks be quick to always make Jordan the example of black folks not doing nothing. What y'all don't realize is Michael Jordan does a lot. This little whole thing, he didn't support this guy in North Carolina. He didn't support him publicly, but he donated to his campaign. That's something people don't bring up. Folks bring up that he owns a prison. Y'all don't bring up that's a white man named Michael Jordan that owns that prison. But y'all like to carry that, keep that running. And all I'm saying is, man, just because, and this is another thing. I'm not trying to talk about this guy. LeBron opened a school.
Oh, you need a close-up for this one. Hold on.
LeBron opened a school. He's the GOAT of basketball now. Jalen Rose, David Robinson.
Come on.
It's another. It's several NBA players that have opened up schools. When it comes to basketball, this is the problem I have with a lot of LeBron stands. Yes, he probably have done more for Jordan, more than Jordan have done far as civil rights and for the communities and all that. But when it comes to basketball
court,
you cannot bring that on the court to make that your debate to say that that he's the GOAT. That has nothing to do with basketball. Absolutely nothing. And that's my only problem I have. You cannot use that in saying that's why he's the GOAT.
But look at his longevity, Phil.
That nigga came out of high school. Stop it, man. Leave
He
it alone.
been playing for 80 years. Jordan didn't play for 80 years.
Kobe played for 20 years. Stop it.
It don't matter. It ain't the same thing. It's not the same.
LeBron's still doing good, but you can tell from last year, Father Time is tapping him on his shoulder. And one thing you can't beat is Father Time.
Time wins every time, bro.
It's several players. Tyson Chandler played almost over 20 years. He came straight out of high school.
True.
Michael Jordan played 3 years of college.
And that's all we're going to say on that.
I'm just saying, man. Kevin Garnett. So when we talk, you can't say all that 20 years. Yeah, you come out of high school, you 18, 19 years old. Come on, man. Stop it. Yeah, you're going to be guaranteed a good 20 years bar injury.
That's when the brain starts to misfire. You know how your car misfire because it needs new spark plugs. That's Kanye's brain. And you're exactly right, because when you're fixing the car and you know how when the spark plugs aren't working right, you know what I'm saying? And then you go to Culver's and it's like you see that they have like a special going on, and you're like, well, how special is it really?
All the way over there.
How special is it really when you compare it to the grass that you just growed in your own yard? And so that's all I'm saying. And you'll be like,
and that's how the tangent go. Like I said, you listen to any one of his interviews. Kanye say a lot of stuff that's true, and he say a lot of informative stuff. The problem is he'll say something that's right, and he'll turn around and go on this long rant about some stuff that ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
Like, how did I get from music to spark plugs to grass? That's all I want to know. So look, anyway, God bless him. I
Yeah.
really do pray that there's somebody in his camp that is more concerned about his health than his wallet and can really, really help him to kind of, just get the help that he needs, man. It's like, because the world needs more geniuses. The world needs more people that are willing to think outside of the norm. I don't have a problem with that. It's just that what I don't like are the stands and the people that sit up there and support his foolishness and they give him excuses.
Nah.
And that's a cop out. I don't like that. Look, if we're gonna be critical, let's be critical across the board. That's
Yes,
my own.
sir.
So moving on, because time is moving on. Man, who knew Kanye was gonna take that long? But listen.
But it was a good conversation though, yo.
This is for my dads, my brothers, and look, even for my sisters. I don't know, I might have been on TikTok or something looking at some videos, and I came across this video where it was a football player, professional football player was talking. I forget his name because it escapes me. And he was talking, he was on another guy's podcast and he was talking. And he was like, man, you know what's funny? He said, my dad, he said, right now, my dad, he comes to all of my games. He's been to all of my games and everything. And it was like, and he's, supported me all through the years and everything. And he was like, but do you know that my father has never told me that he was proud of me? Now, this is a grown man talking. I need y'all to understand this. And he was like, my dad has never told me that he's been proud of me. He's like, I've won championships, I've won MVPs, and I have all these different kind of accolades and achieved all of this stuff. And he said, and to this day, my father has never told me that he was proud of me. That struck me because when I thought about it, I can remember my dad has been gone now for about 23 years and maybe 24. And I can remember a lot of things about my dad. I remember the jokes that he told. I can remember him playing pool. I remember his voice. I remember his certain songs, his favorite songs, and all of these things that I can remember about him. I do not once remember him ever telling me that he was proud of me. Not one time. Now, here's the funny part. And y'all hear me talk about this from time to time. My dad owned a lounge on 74th and Vincennes for a couple of years. It was a nice little spot, too. And I remember the first time I actually went over there. And the people who was there and he introduced me. He was like, hey, y'all, this is Mike. This is my son. Everybody was like, hey, man, what's going on? Like they knew me. And everybody that I talked to, and even the people as I met later on, when I talked to them, they all said the same thing. Man, your dad talk about you and your sisters all day long. He talk about you, man, like you talking about how smart you are and this, that, and the other, and all this stuff that they say he say. I never heard him say it. Not to me personally. Never heard him say it. And I was shocked at the stuff that they were telling me. I'm like, yeah, I did do that. Or yeah, I was this, or whatever. All of the stuff they knew. And my dad never once told me that he was ever proud of anything that I did. Any accomplishment, never said. Never. And I remember coming up as a kid, and I was like, and it was one of those things where it's like, you know what? I would rather be put on punishment, take away TV, take away video games, can't go outside or whatever, than to ever hear my father say, I'm disappointed in you. Because I never wanted to disappoint the man. Never. And I don't think I did things to seek his approval, but at the same time, I know I didn't want to do anything that would have him to disapprove of it. But I do not remember my dad ever telling me that he was proud of me. And I thought about that thing. Just recently, Gabriel had applied for a job at Chicago Public Schools. He applied for a tutor position. I said, Gabriel, you can do it. I said, you tutored while you were in high school. He helped the like the lower class, like like the underclass, like the like eighth grade and lower. He was tutoring some of those kids. I said, dude, you can do it. You work well with kids. You worked at a camp. I said, don't nothing be the failure but a try. Go ahead and apply. And reluctantly, he applied. You know what I'm saying? And he went through the interview process and stuff. And you know what? He got hired. They sent him an email. Was like, look, we want to extend you the position and everything. And so he, once they get him registered, he got all his tests and everything done. He's going to be working as a tutor in the Chicago public school system. And he came in there and he showed me the email. He was really happy. I was like, dude, that's good. I was like, yeah, man, that's what's up. And I thought about that thing. And I said, Gabriel, you know what? I said, man, I'm proud of it. I was like, I don't know if I ever told you or if I ever said it. I'm like, but if I haven't, I'm sorry, but I want you to know that I am proud of you. And I'm proud of you at the fact that you did what you did and you got the job. And I said, man, I think you're going to knock it out. And he was like, thanks, Dad. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that did anything for him. But I just want to let you guys know that, especially my fathers, that validation is important for a young man. To know that his dad is proud of the stuff that he does. Because nobody wants to go through, because see, we have our kids coming up now, and you know where they're seeking validation from? They're seeking validation from social media. They're seeking validation through likes and through followers and stuff like that. And as a father, we should never hesitate to give our kids that validation. Because now this is a grown man who was talking about this, and you can hear how he was hurt by it. And his dad is still alive and still going to the games. And he was just like, my dad has never told me that he was proud of me. And all the things that I've accomplished, he's never said. He said, white people have told me. He said the heads of the company. He said all the, the staff and all this stuff. Everybody, all of them tell me how proud of me they are. He said, but my dad never said, never. And I don't know, man. That just did something to me, because it's like I think it's a lot of cats out here that was seeking that validation at one point in time and just never got it.
You know what, Mike? Real talk, and it took me to get older to realize a lot of things when it came to my parents. So like I said, I was raised like my parents talked to me tough. They raised me tough. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I played basketball. My parents would come to my games, and in a way, that really took me away from really taking it serious as far as organized basketball. Like, ain't nobody coming to see me. Why am I wasting my time? I gotta sit here and take the job, do all these suicides and all that. Ain't nobody, so. But our fathers, man, was just they was different, man. Yeah. Like my old man didn't tell me he loved me and I'm proud of you and all that mess. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, his love was taking care of you. I take care of you. That's all you need to know. I ain't got to sit here and tell you I love you and all that. Hug on you, kiss on you. Every time you get an A, I ain't got to sit there and say I'm proud of you. You're supposed to do all that. So it's just that our fathers was raised different. That's why I tell my son I love him. I kiss my son on the forehead. He 30, and I do it to this day because I didn't want to do my son like that. Because
you ever told him that you was proud of him?
Who? Yeah, several times. Yeah. See, I'm telling you, man, the way I was raised, man, Don't get me wrong, man. My mother and father was not bad parents.
Right.
Let me tell you, I never lived in nobody apartment. You
Right.
know what I'm
Right. Right.
saying? I always lived in something that my parents owned. I didn't go hungry. I didn't go cold. I didn't go sitting in the dark. And before I got to McDonald's, before I started working at McDonald's my sophomore year, my first pair, my first pair Jordans, my father got for me and all that. So I can't sit and say that my mother and father didn't do what they supposed to do as parents. The difference was my parents wasn't the type that was going to coddle you.
Right.
They did what they supposed to do, far as taking care of their kids, but all that ooh goo goo ga ga ga, I love you, woo woo. I didn't get all that.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't get all that. I didn't get
Yeah.
all that. But like I said, with the basketball, I think that had I had them coming to the games or something like that, I probably would have took it more serious. But I'm looking around like don't nobody really care about this mess. So it stopped me from taking basketball serious. I can say that, but but once I got older, I realized that my parents was different. You know what I'm saying? My parents, man, my father came up here, came from Mississippi at the age he hoboed at 17 to Chicago by himself. You know what I'm saying?
He left home at 14.
Yeah.
14, 15 from Louisiana and came up to
by himself. So you have to realize that our fathers was a different breed, man. A lot of them came from the South, man. They barely had education. They can't look for a better life. And you think about it. Your father 14 to 15 years old. My daddy's 17 years old, man. Working at the Playboy Tower. That was his first job. He was a dishwasher at the Playboy Tower, the one downtown. So, I mean, our father was just different breeds, man. But I did not want my kids to not get that I love you and all that because I didn't get it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My mother, she tell me now, because when you get older, so
yeah.
My mother tell me she loved me now and stuff, but growing up, I didn't get all that. I didn't have parents that coddled me, man. Like I said, that's why I am the way I am. People, you just seem like it's just the way I was raised. You know what I'm saying? My mother and father.
You're so cold, Philip. You're so cold.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what my mother and my father was, man. They kept it a being with you. They weren't gonna tell me that the sun came out. They said, yeah, it's gonna be sunny, but sometimes it rains.
Sometimes it rains, man.
Stop trying to please everybody because everybody not gonna like you. And guess what? That's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the way I was raised, man. But when it comes to our fathers, man, you had a father like I had a father. Our father was just alike. They came up here from the South and made some out of themselves. So no, I'm not gonna coddle no boys because I know what it takes to become a man.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
and I don't think it's not really about coddling because like the whole, like.
But he was proud of you, Mike, because he talked about you behind.
I believe that. I
talked about you behind.
I absolutely believe that because. Like, I don't think that anybody would be holding conversation about somebody who they weren't proud of. And like I said, every time I don't care who it was. Whenever I met somebody over at that place, the first thing he says, "Man, your dad talked about you all the time.
Yeah.
Talk about you all the time." Now, do I wish he would have said some of the things to me so I know that I was doing all right? Of course I do.
We all did. I wish I could hear. I tell Jackie that to this day. I wish I would have got some of that. Some of it.
Yeah.
Because maybe it would have helped me as an adult not to be so, not to be so cold-hearted sometimes, or just like I just don't care sometimes. But I didn't want to take my kids. So I tell my son 30, man, I kiss a nigga on his forehead right now.
Yeah. It was like let me tell you this. I can tell you because he ain't in here. But the other day, like Gabriel woke up real early one morning. And he came in there and he came in there where I was. I was like, "What's up, man?" He was like, "I'm all right." I'm like, "What's going on?" He was like, "I just had a dream. I just came to check on you." And I'm like, "Okay." And he just hugged me. And I'm like, "Dude, you all right?" He was like, "Yeah, it was just a weird dream." And I'm like, "It's okay. It's you good." You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, because I wouldn't go. Here's the thing, because Gabriel was, when he was younger, he was a hugger. He hugged constantly. He needed hugs. He needed hugs at least 3-4 times a day. Dad, can I get a hug? 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 I'm like, yeah, man. What is the? Come on, let me hug you. Ugh. And I'll hug him. And he's like, thank you. But that was just his thing. And as he got older, he grew out of it, but not really, because every now and again he'll still say, "Hey, Dad, can I get a hug?" And I'm like, absolutely. And it was funny how we were at stores sometimes, and he would just randomly ask for a hug, and I would hug him, and the cashier was like, "I just think that's so great that you hug your son," and I'm like, why would I not hug my son? It was just the weirdest thing to me. Like, it was such an alien thing, but when I heard that guy, and I was just like, man, that's weird, because I don't remember that. But I said all that to say that don't, especially as a father, and even as a mom, you don't realize that your daughters look for that stuff. They may not say it, because how you women are. Y'all just won't admit it. But y'all need constant validation.
Mm-hmm. All day long.
Constant validation.
All day long.
You need it. So if you need, and just think about this, if those of you that's in a relationship, if you need that validation from your man, you don't think your daughters don't need some type of validation from you from time to time, to know that they doing right, to know that you proud of them?
Yeah.
To know that something. Your kids need it, man. I'm just saying that as a man, do not hesitate. Don't hesitate to let your son know that you're proud of him.
Yeah.
Don't hesitate, man. He needs that. He absolutely needs it. That is valid. That's not optional validation. You need to let your son know that you're proud of him. And even though the nephews in your life, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't know how sometimes your nephews value you as an uncle, and you tell them, and they tell you stuff, and you say, "Man, I'm proud of you." You don't know how that builds them up. That stuff we need to start as Black men. We need to start normalizing, telling our kids, telling our sons, our nephews, listen, man, I'm proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm proud of you. Look at what you achieved. I'm proud of you. Look at what you accomplished. We need to start normalizing that. Stop making that seem like it's such a foreign thing in the Black community. Like it's something wrong with telling your son that you're proud of him. That's crazy. And you don't really know how that stuff will affect him in the long run. Did it have an effect on me that my dad never told me personally? It might have. It probably did. And I just didn't realize it at the time.
Yeah, we all human, Mike. Like I said, when I was growing up, I saw the way my friends' parents interact with them, between difference with my parents interacting with me. So yeah, you yearn for that, bro. You gonna yearn for it. Yeah, I wish that my mother was probably like my friend's mother. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? With far as like the just the way she treated him. Yeah, you yearn for that. And then sometimes you think that, man, because I grew up, man, I thought I had the meanest parents in the world. They don't love me. Whatever, man. You know what I'm saying? But as you get older, you look back on your life and realize, wait a minute, man, I can't say that. Just because they didn't tell me just because they didn't sit back and hug and kiss on me and tell me they love me every 5 seconds.
Right.
I have no complaints. They did their job, is making sure I had a roof over my head, clothes on my back, food in my stomach.
Yep.
Hey, man, like I told you before, man, everybody's getting hugged and kissed on, but I know I had cable in my bedroom. And that's back when cable first came out.
Yep. That's when they had the filters on the
when it went back to the phone. We was like the first people on the block with cable. So
when you wanted to get to certain channels, hey dog, I got that filter. Like what?
I'm talking with Video Soul only played the Tony video, Hey Lil Walter, and all Michael Jackson videos.
No. Remember when
With the green eyed dude, Donnie Simpson.
Remember the jukebox channel, bro?
Yeah.
Whoa, Lord.
Yeah, but like I said, man, when you go back and reflect on your life, man, you realize that I can't say that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I would yearn. I wish I could have got a little bit more of that, but I can't complain about my upbringing because they did what they were supposed to do to make sure that I was straight.
Yeah.
So be honest with you, I take making sure that I was straight a little bit more than them sitting around telling like my father said, I can tell you I love you all day long, but these lights gonna have to get paid eventually. So what you want me to do?
I can love you in the dark if you want me to. Like, no, Dad, you good.
What's that boy name? What's that basketball player name you like? Hey, I can sit there and tell you I love you all day long, but don't you like them shoes?
You like them shoes, don't you?
So you make the choice. What you want?
Like wearing them clothes so you can look good for them little girls, don't you? You're like,
yep. So you make the choice. Which one? You want me to sit and hug you, or you want me to go to work?
All day, or you want me to make some money so you can get them clothes?
Choice is yours. Choice is yours. I can sit and hug you all day.
Since you put it like that, Dad, you don't have to love me that much. Just buy the clothes and I'll be all right,
man. But yeah, we human, man. Yeah, we all yearn for that a little bit, Mike. I mean, I'd be lying to say I didn't yearn for what when I was younger, but as I got old, I realized what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, these just my people. This them. I mean, they ain't changing. This how they is. Right. You know, you get raised up. Once you get raised up a certain way, you used to it. Yeah. So it's like, hey man, I'm straight. Like I said, I got cable in my room. My friends ain't got that, so they did. He must not love them like that. I'm just being real, man.
Long story short, y'all, learn to appreciate your people. Yeah. And look, and it's okay. It's okay to tell people that it's okay to tell people that you're proud of them. It's okay to give. It's okay to give people their flowers while they still here. It's okay. It really is. You don't have to wait. I don't want to have to die for you to appreciate me. For you to tell me that you're proud of me. For you to give me my accolades. I don't want that. Let me know while I'm here.
No.
You know, fathers, tell your kids, I'm proud of you.
Yep, especially your sons.
Especially your sons, man. Tell them, look, dude, I'm proud of you, man. Keep it moving, keep it pushing. You know, because here's the truth, especially as a young black man, the world don't care about you.
Not at all.
The world does not care about you. As a matter of fact, the world would rather you didn't even exist. You have a lot of people that's going to fight against you. And if it's anybody that you want in your corner as a young man going out into the world, you want your father to be back there with you.
Yes, sir.
You want your dad telling you, man, look, you're doing good. Look, keep it going, bro. Keep it moving. If your dad can't tell you that he's proud of you, it's just like, who else going to say it? Mom can. And here's the thing, Mom. You can say it all day. I love you. I'm so proud of you. And you know what? We expect that from you. We expect that from Mom. But when you hear it from Dad, it's
different.
It hits different. It just hit differently. And this is what I want my brothers to understand. This is why it's important for you as a man to validate your son, to validate your nephews, validate those young men in your life. They need that validation from another man.
Yeah.
Because
but Mike also teach them to learn how to validate themselves also.
Absolutely. It's nothing wrong with self-validation, but when it's something, but even in that, they need that validation from a father figure. They need it. They absolutely need that. They need it because mom is the nurturer, right? She's always the nurturer. She's always the caregiver. So yeah, she's been telling you that you special all your life, even when we know that you really wasn't.
Yeah, man.
But she told you was, and you believed it. And then you got out in the world, and the world let you know that you wasn't as special as Mom told you that you was. But she gonna always tell you that she's proud of you. She gonna always tell you that, oh, I love you. I'm just so proud of you. You're doing such a good job. That's great. Yeah. But when dad validates that, when dad punched that ticket, that's a whole different story, man. It's a whole different trip. So I'm just encouraging my brothers out there. If you have sons, if you have young men in your life, man, encourage them, validate them.
Please.
If they're doing what they're supposed to do, let them know that you're proud of them. It's okay. It really is okay. I promise you, it is. It really is okay. So that's it, man. I just wanted to kind of get that off. And look, and then along with that, also just let the people know. Look, we're living in a time right now where people are leaving like just like you look up one day and then the next thing you know, it's just done.
Yes, sir.
You know, and there's a lot of people that have left this world not knowing that they were loved, not knowing that they were appreciated. And if you got anybody in your life, I don't care if y'all beefing, whatever it is, whatever issue you got, listen, if it's somebody that's in your life and if they mean anything to you,
straighten that out.
You need to make it a point to let that person know that you love them and that you appreciate them. Because you just never know when you're not going to have that chance again. You just don't. You know, and I'm saying it for myself too. I got a sister right now that I don't really rock with like that. And this is my sister. And I've tried on numerous occasions, but it's just like, you know, I don't know what it is, man. But, you know, I reached out to her and I told her, I said, listen, I know we ain't on the greatest of terms, but just know that, you know, if you need me for anything, man, just hit me up and let me know. And I meant that. I really did mean that. You know, but let's not make it stop saving your accolades and your approval until the person is dead and can't hear them. I don't even want a funeral. I'm telling you right now, I told Kelly I don't want a funeral. I want to be cremated. My only requirements is that I want to be cremated and I want me a Superman urn. That's all. Don't have no funeral for me. I want y'all to sit around, tell some stories about some stupid stuff I said, crack some jokes, have a good time. I don't want a funeral. I just don't. I don't want that. I want the people to remember to remember me how I was. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want folks crying and boo-hooing and dressed all in black. And then you got to try to find parking and going to a burial and all that stuff, man. I don't need all that stuff, man. Just cremate me, put me in a dope urn, and just remember me. That's all. You know. But remember, look, appreciate your people. Love on them a little. If you ain't did it in a while, hug your people a little tighter tonight. Say, I love you. I don't care who it is.
If you fell out with anybody, make that thing right, y'all.
Make it right. If you got something, listen, if you got a beef with somebody right now,
make it right, y'all.
I want to make that stuff right. Stop living your life burning bridges and not trying to repair them. That's crazy talk.
Because life is not guaranteed in these days of time. So
it is not.
Please, please don't let anybody leave this earth without you making it right. Because I got friends that's still going through it with Chop because because they fell out and they never made it right with him.
See, that's
bothering them mentally.
What you want your last words to be to somebody? I can't stand this nigga. It's like
what? Exactly.
Really? That's what your last words is gonna be.
Please make it right. Please make it right, man.
Yeah, man. Make that stuff right. But listen, that's it for us. We've been rambling on long enough, man. Y'all know if I don't never say it,
we winning, Mike. 96-84. Denver.
Hold the ball. That's just preseason. I don't get hung up on that. It's preseason. On phone them, it's just preseason. It don't mean nothing.
Come on, end this, Mike, man. You doing
don't mean nothing. But look, just in case y'all ain't never heard me say it, let me say that I appreciate y'all. And I love y'all. And I love how you all support us and have supported us throughout the years.
Yeah.
And I just want to thank you all because, listen, if it wasn't for you guys, wouldn't be no reason for us to even be here. And that's why we continue to do it. As long as you all continue to support, we will continue to bring you the best conversation that we possibly can. And listen, let us know what you all think. If you agree with what we said, post it in the comments. If you don't agree with what we said, post it in the comments. I don't care. Say what you got to say. Say it with your chest. Put it out there. and we'll talk about it a little bit later, man. But we appreciate y'all. We love on y'all, and we thank y'all for everything that you've done and how you continue to support us. And we're just looking forward to the next conversation. So, listen, until we meet again, y'all already know how we do it, man. Y'all get 2 fingers to the side. Make sure you holler at your boys because we are. Do I need to get my mic? Hold on. Now, son, man to man, we both know the game. I have to do that, man. That was so. Look, Rod Eyes. Mr. B, y'all know y'all still listening to R. Kelly. Stop it.
That man gave that man a whole persona that he's still living that. He's still living off that persona.
That's so crazy how he's still living off that, man. That's awesome. But
he's still living on that persona, man.
Still living on it, man. But we love you like the love of Jesus, and we appreciate you for all that you do. And until we meet again, y'all get 2 fingers to the side. Make sure you holler at your boys because we're officially out.
Peace.
This is my goddaughter.
Relax, Mike. Relax. All right.
All right, y'all. We out.